Hypixel Skyblock tries its best to simulate a real-life economy, with a lot of successes and even more failures. For starters, they have taxes, investing, inflation, bank interest, and, well, pretty much everything to do with the bazaar. When you take the time to really look at it and compare the two, it works very similar to the great country of America, with how it has no drawbacks and imperfections at all. Okay, now take all of that and completely throw it out the window, because none of it matters anymore. My name is Logan, and welcome to a fate worse than death. Hypixel Skyblock Ironman. Conceptually, Ironman wasn't made by Skyblock, it actually originated from old-school RuneScape. The rules are similar, you can't trade with other players, use the auction house, etc. It just basically makes the game 10 times harder. You might even see some people calling it playing the game the way the admins intended. Nothing can be served better than by yourself, it's basically just the Skyblock DIY experience. And ever since 30Virus started his Ironman Let's Play, there's a lot more Ironman than there used to be. If you guys like doing things yourself so much, why don't you leave? Run away from society, survive in the wilderness on your own, gather all of the necessities, scavenging for food, and much more my privileged white ass can't think of. Oh come on now, Ironman is no different, so go ahead and live life the way the real life admins intended.
I freaking love virgins.
Alright, let me break it down for you. Ironman is considered a special game mode, and special game modes have special rules. The first rule is that you can't trade with any players. So if I go up to a player and want to trade with them, it just won't let me. Poor guy, all he wanted to do was give someone a present. On top of that, I can't interact with the economy at all. No matter how hard I try, they won't let me. With, of course, the exception being booster cookies, seeing as this is the only item in the game that requires you to spend real-life money to get them. Oh my god, guys, booster cookies cost gems, which you buy for real money. Skyblock's pay to win, I quit. You can pretty much think of booster cookies as the game's subscription fee. Kinda similar to what games like World of Warcraft have, except in this case you have to pay it to play the game. You don't technically have to do that in Skyblock, but let's all be honest here, at some point these perks become necessary. Also, are you gonna sit there and try to argue that you don't absolutely need a god potion? Like, bro, come on, XP boosts. It's gotten pretty bad, honestly. Whenever I'm not jumping around the hub like a bunny rabbit, I exhibit stereotypical withdrawal symptoms. You may as well just start searching for an early game Ironman guide right now, because you're immediately thrown to the wolves. But to recap what every guide's gonna say, it's just gonna tell you to rush farming or mining, because money is a big problem. You're gonna need cash for dungeon chests, various upgrades, obviously booster cookies, and property tax. What? Don't look at me like that. You know damn well that private island of yours couldn't just be free. So you're gonna have to make your choice. Would you rather A, mine and fish for hundreds of hours for a mining setup, or would you rather farm for maybe 100 hours to get a farming setup? Either way, no matter what you choose, you're gonna end up selling all of your proceeds to an NPC. Well, where else are you gonna sell them, right? If you're mining, you'd make money from gemstones and gold, and for farming, you would just farm melons, I think. Any crop works. While farming is a lot easier to get into than mining, mining makes so much more money. And I think that's the big dilemma people have. Do you want to put in less effort and get farming immediately, make a lot of money faster? Or put it off and, I guess, make a lot more money mining? Mining ender nodes is a pretty good alternative before a mining setup or a farming setup. That's so 2 years ago. Get with the times, brokey. But money's not the only issue. Yes, believe it or not, there's actually other problems in life. Let's just say, hypothetically, you're rich. Typically, that could actually solve most of your problems just by having enough money. Welcome to Ironman. You still have to apply yourself and get the incredibly rare drops, some without even an RNG meter or a pity system. Backpacks, super compactors, the gemstone gauntlet, all of these stupid talismans that take forever to get, and yet you still get yelled at for having less than 400 magical power, but you can't do anything about it because you're an Iron Man. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. Let's rewind. Far enough to... No, God, please not that far. Let's go back to what it's like at the very beginning of an Ironman profile. In the very beginning, you start off by making your Ironman profile, visiting a portal hub to get yourself some cake, in Skyblock, baptize a gold shovel, or instead of that, you can just trade for this never mind. Then go to the Mushroom Desert and dig for about 20 minutes. Then head over to the Bazaar and... go mine 5,000 ore, give it all to this stupid dwarf, and then he'll let you into the dwarven homeless encampment. Then you'd go kill Icemen and pray to whatever you believe in for their 0.5% drop, which would be their armor. But if you can't drop any armor, that's alright, just head over to the auction house and... Right, never mind then. Several hours later, go to the end, buy a void sword, and start slaying At this point, you're probably strong enough to start dungeons with glaciite and ender gear. Just kidding. While you may be strong enough for floors 1 and 2, maybe even just the entrance, there's no way in hell you can afford the dungeon loot. The dungeon loot costs money, which is something that you definitely don't have at this point. And this brings us back full circle. We need to find a good, reliable money-making method. Yep, it's time to get a job. So farming. Again, you sink about 100 or so hours into it before making any money whatsoever. Ironically enough, the progression is really not that different from regular profiles, except for composting, because most people just buy compost from the bazaar. Farming is really easy. Most of the time you're just holding down 2 buttons on your keyboard. Makes it easy to, watch YouTube on the side. Please. But I understand farming's not for everyone, and while I would love to say if you hate farming, please don't play Ironman, you could try mining. Mining is a little bit different than farming. Instead of sinking 100 or so hours into it before making any profit, mining is more like, let's just call it maybe 1,000. And you can't really get there just by mining either. There's gonna be a lot of fishing as well for the Divan chambers. And in my case, you have minions do it. Mining does make quite a bit more than farming, but it takes so much more time to get set up that it's almost embarrassing. So unless you're ready and willing to grind all of that, just don't even start a profile. That's right, I've become just like everyone else, I'm gatekeeping. And not to get all wishy-washy about it, but sadly there really is just no way around this. What is this guy doing? And I honestly doubt that'll ever change. I saw a good comment the other day that mentioned that Skyblock only got grindy because of the climate that lockdown gave us. During and all that. Everyone had so much time to play the game that the grinds didn't really even seem that bad. But now, as lockdown fades away and the disease becomes, I guess, less of an issue, we've gone back to our lives. But Skyblock, well, that hasn't changed. It's only gotten more grindy. But hey, I mean, it's meant to be a challenge, right? Welcome to youtube.com/iKalazar, where all we do is complain about the grindiness of Skyblock. Oh, wait, hold on. Uh-oh, it's that time again. Time for company-wide layoffs, all for the sake of Skyblock XP. Aw, this is great. Now I can go and find divine rabbits. Oh, or maybe not, actually. Anywho, back to Ironman. Alright, let's get into the thick of it. Why should you play Ironman? So far, all I've given you are downsides. What makes it harder, what special limits you have. For starters, it's incredibly rewarding. Everything you have, you've earned all by yourself, and there's no denying that. You're not forced to feel the need to find one good money-making method and use that money to bypass 90% of all other progression. I also think that Ironman is more of a play-at-your-own-pace kind of game mode. You won't have to worry about keeping up with the economy every single day, besides booster cookies. Okay, maybe this is a bad point, but please just let me have this. And I guess lastly, you get the full game experience, just the way the developers intended. Yeah, I am one of those guys. Regular profiles allow you to do major progression skips. Take this new player guide for example, made by Yachty. I think it's made by Yachty? I don't know. You start off buying an item from the Crimson Isles, and that'll carry you to a full farming and mining setup. Like what? You didn't have to do any of the mining or farming to get there, you just have the best gear from selling the stuff that you get from the Aurora staff. But you won't miss out on any content for an Ironman profile, because you literally can't. What do you mean I've said that before? Alright, okay, it's really not that complicated. I like it because I just have a lot of time on my hands. I understand that you guys might not, but it's just my preferred way to play the game. To summarize the video, give Ironman a try if you have a metric ton of spare time. It's just a grind fest. No matter what, you really can't escape the fate of running floor 4 hundreds of times just to get 3 measly spirit wings. So yeah, have fun. Subscribe, like, and comment something for the algorithm. And I'm gonna go play in an Ironman profile until I get bored. And create.